What's going on, world? What's cracking, gang? What's the deal? It's everybody's favorite and today we got a motherfucking monster truck. That's right, we got a monster truck. We got the Mattel WWE Wrekkin Stone Cold Crusher monster truck. And guys, I'm super stoked for this one. I don't normally review vehicles on the channel at all. And I don't really collect a whole lot of vehicles simply because I don't have a whole lot of space. I'm renting right now. I'm actually about to move very soon as well. So having big stuff like 1/12 scale vehicles doesn't work the best for my collection, but every now and then I do see something I gotta grab, and this is one of those. I saw it on a hunch at the Walmart, and since we're getting into it, let's just talk about the MSRP on this guy. He is $50. Look, man, 50 bucks is definitely a hefty price tag, but as far as I know, there aren't any 1/12 scale or close to 1/12 scale monster trucks that are going to run you 50 bucks. That's a really good price in my estimation. I don't collect die-cast or vehicles in general, so I could be wrong. If I am, drop that in the comments below. But for 50 bucks, plus you get the basic with it, hey man, you know, pretty good deal. And I will say this one, unlike a lot of the other Wrekkin and the Wrekkin Smash, Wrekkin Slam, whatever you want to call it, vehicles that Mattel has made, I feel like this one's definitely going to sell the best because it is from an iconic moment for Stone Cold Steve Austin. And that takes me to the next segue, which is the question of the video. I always like to ask a question at the beginning of the video to kind of boost engagement with the video. One of the best ways you can support the channel is to leave a like or comment or subscribe. So leave it in the comment section below your answer to the question today. What is your favorite vehicle moment in WWE? Stone Cold Steve Austin has had a lot himself, from pouring cement into Vince McMahon's Corvette to the Milk-O-Mania segment with Kurt Angle. But for me, I'm actually going to go to something a little bit more recent. I was really enjoying Braun Strowman's push when he first got out of the Wyatt family. And I'll never forget that night on Monday Night Raw when Braun Strowman lifted and turned over an 18-wheeler. That was just amazing to me. And I think that right there is probably my favorite vehicle moment. But what's your guys' favorite vehicle moment in WWE? Make sure you leave that in the comments below. But enough about the vehicles in WWE and all that good stuff. This review is going to be a little bit different because I don't normally review stuff like this, but we are going to take a quick look at the box art. I'm not going to go over every single detail of it because I don't think most people collect things like this in box, but you do have some cool artwork on and around the box. So just some shots of it so you can see how it looks. But let's go ahead and crack this bad boy open and see what we got. You feel me? All right, now as you guys can see in this time lapse, this thing is in there nice and secure, man. There's a whole lot of bands and zip ties and all that good stuff holding it together. It is in there nice and snug. Definitely good for preventing theft. When you get this guy out of the box, the first thing you'll see is the instruction booklet. For now, I'm gonna go ahead and put that to the side before we do a little speed build here. It does come with wheels. The wheels look really nice. They have the tread on them as well. So, you know what you're getting. It's more of a kid's toy. This isn't a collector's item, so nothing's gonna look too crazy detailed. You get the ladder that goes to the side of the truck as well. You get the seat that has a nice little carbon fiber type print on it. It looks really good for, for what you're getting here. Like I said, it's not going to be, a die-cast, high-end vehicle, but you do get a seat with some nice detailing on it. You get the lights that connect at the top as well. They're just fully molded plastic, which, is to be expected, like I said, in a playset like this for a $50 truck. Nothing crazy. But, a repaint can always heal all that type of stuff, right? You get the stands and or the stoppers for the truck so it doesn't roll. These go on the bottom to stop it from rolling. And you also get the Stone Cold Steve Austin basic figure. Nothing too crazy to go over with the basic figure. If you have any basics, you know what this is. It's very limited. I think it's like, 6 POA or 7 POA, something like that. Can't do too much with it, but hey man, it's Stone Cold Steve Austin. Always good to have another one in the collection. Maybe you can torso crack, this one and drop it on, a pair of jeans you have from a random elite, something like that. But anyway, that's what you get with the Wrekkin Smash monster truck. Now that we got all that out the way, let's go ahead and put this bad boy together and take a closer look at it. All right, now assembly on this thing is pretty easy. I found myself kind of looking at the instructions and trying to figure out how to do everything, when really, you know, if you're an adult collector, you probably don't need the instructions to put this thing together. It's pretty simple, pretty easy. This is my first Wrekkin vehicle from Mattel, so, you know, I've never put one together before, but they're pretty easy to put together. Everything snaps into place, everything holds real nice, everything is real snug. And, you know, speaking of which, this thing breaks down into multiple pieces that you can use to kind of have a lot of playability with this thing. So you can take the doors off like you can on like a Jeep or something like that. You can see the framework of the car. And the doors look really cool, man. They have these little decals on them for Stone Cold Steve Austin and 316 on the side, the WWE logo, all that good stuff. The doors look really awesome. You can also take out the back, so you can take out the truck bed pieces as well. And there's also a little contraption that you hit on the front, so the engine, excuse me, I'm not a car guy, but the engine or whatever the hell that is that's just out the top of the hood, you can smash down on that and it'll actually shoot a figure from off of a platform that's under inside of the truck bed. So that's pretty cool, man. So this thing breaks down into a lot of different pieces. You can even take the tires off of the rims, but I didn't do all that because, you know, I'm not going to display it like that. This is going to be like a set piece for my display, but, you know, if you're planning on playing with this thing, there's a lot of playability. You can do a lot of really cool, fun stuff with it. So that's cool. For me, I'm more of an adult collector. I like to keep my stuff on the shelf looking nice, so I'm not gonna really be doing all that. But you can do a lot with this thing, and the playability factor is high. That is the most impressive feature of this item, is the playability factor, bar none. Getting into the aesthetic of the actual truck when it is fully assembled, and honestly, like I said, for the price point for a $50, almost 1/12 scale vehicle, you know, it's not amazing, but it's not bad. You do have stickers for the front of the grille and for the lights and for the license plate as well. I will say the stickers on the front of the lights, they work pretty well. The lights look pretty accurate, and in the back for the red lights, the brake lights, they look pretty accurate as well. But that grille, you know, it is what it is. It's a sticker. You can tell it's a sticker, but it's also a kid's toy, so you can't be too upset about that. Everything is molded plastic. There's no paint on it, really. Everything on the doors is a decal or some type of sticker that was put on there. So yeah, man, nothing's painted on. But look, something like this could always take a repaint. Take a little bit of metallic paint to do, you know, the undersides of the vehicle, maybe the top of the truck bed, maybe do the bars on the lights and some metallic paint. You know, maybe, you know, paint up the lights and make them look like actual lights. A repaint can do a whole lot for something like this, man. So, you know, I honestly might wait for, you know, these to maybe possibly show up on clearance and get one for like 25 bucks and, you know, maybe paint some mud on the tires or paint some mud on the side of the doors, because that would be really dope to do too. But aesthetically, you know, it does just fine. You know, having a Stone Cold monster truck in your collection is gonna just be a head turner anyway. So it looks pretty good for the price point. I give it a thumbs up in that department. All right, guys, now we're gonna get into scale for the Wrekkin Smash Stone Cold Steve Austin monster truck. I don't normally measure anything with a tape measure or, you know, a ruler on the channel, but I'm gonna measure this one just for everybody thinking about picking it up, because it is a big boy. It sits just about under 11 inches, just about under 11 inches all the way to the tippy top. It's about 11 and a half with those lights included. So it's a big boy. It is a big boy, man. It's gonna take up a lot of real estate on your shelf. And then width-wise, you're looking at about 12 and a half inches. So it's looking at about, you know, 12 by 12, 11 by 12. This thing's pretty big. It's pretty big. So if you don't have the real estate, you know, it might not be the best investment, but it is really fun. I'm also going to scale it next to some other vehicles I have. I don't have many vehicles, like I said, man. I've got the McFarlane Batman motorcycle. I think that's the Batmobile from the Batman movie. I'm not sure. I'm not a big Batman guy. I just got that bike to kind of put some of my, you know, Action Force and G.I. Joe figures on it. So I got that one right there, and then on the other side, on the right-hand side of your screen, you will see it scaled up against the Ram Cycle that comes with the Duke and Ram Cycle 2-pack from Target. I repainted the, you know, the undersides of it. You can see it looks a little better. It's silver. The whole snake eyes is on there. But that's how these two scale, and they scale really well to this. I mean, this is what a motorcycle would look like beside a monster truck. So it scales pretty well. And I mean, that McFarlane motorcycle scaled up a little bigger. That's your, you know, your 7-inch figure scale motorcycle. But, you know, it looks pretty good beside, you know, this monster truck here as well. And then just for shits and giggles, man, I'm gonna throw in some figures just to see how they scale up against it. Of course, you got the Ultimate Kane. The Ultimate Kane scales pretty good. That's a bigger figure, so it's good to see how he scales. He looks pretty good with this guy. You've got the McFarlane Superman here. That's a 7-inch figure. The NECA War Duke as well, the NECA War Duke. And the Hasbro G.I. Joe Classified Series Sergeant Slaughter in front of it as well. So yeah, man, that's a couple figures in front of it just to give you the idea of that. And I'm also going to do a little fantasy here, and you can use this for other lines, man. Here, you see I have it posed up with the Bloody Pandora variant from Valiverse Action Force there. You got Kill Switch as well from Action Force, Zorana from G.I. Joe Classified, and Duke. And like, yeah, man, I think these figures look really, really cool with this truck. Like I said, if you were to find one, you know, on clearance or even for normal price and repaint it up, you know, maybe put some mud on it, you know, maybe make it military colors, you could put your G.I. Joe figures, your Action Force figures in there, and it's going to look damn good. So, man, I think this is a very versatile purchase for any collector of any line. You know, having a monster truck is just always fun, man. Who doesn't like a good monster truck? Especially from down here in VA, in the dirty South where I'm from. We love ourselves a good mud bog and a good monster truck. You feel me? But anyway, man, that's going to take me to my final thoughts on this thing. Now, I think I covered everything, man. This is, like I said, I don't normally review vehicles on the channel. I don't have the most knowledge about, you know, action figure vehicles, but I really liked this one, especially being, you know, a wrestling collector primarily. If you don't watch the channel, I primarily collect Dragon Ball and wrestling figures. So, you know, this was pretty much a must cop for me, especially being a kid from the Attitude Era. Look, man, I'm gonna tell you right now, there's more upsides than downsides to this thing. It's perfectly affordable for the price. You get great value for the price. The playability is just out of this world. And as a person who, you know, poses my toys more than playing with them, I guess you could say, for lack of a better term, this thing just had me having so much fun with it, man. You know, the downsides are, of course, everything's plastic, molded plastic. It doesn't look super realistic, but there's nothing that a repaint won't do for you. I do wish that one thing Mattel would do with some of the Wreck and Smash stuff is to kind of have like an elite figure in there instead of a basic, especially when you got a vehicle, and you know, putting a basic in a vehicle is not hard to do. And as you saw in the review, the Ultimate does fit in there as well. But putting a basic in a vehicle is kind of hard to do because they don't have that split leg articulation. Maybe moving forward, since they are adding that new articulation to the basics, that'll make it a little bit more viable to put in these packs. But I will say one critique I have is that I wish that, you know, maybe they would have dropped the price down to $40 and don't include that Stone Cold. You know, we don't need it as collectors. I get, you know, little kids getting it, want to have a figure with it too. But I think this one in particular is going to be the one that most adult collectors are gravitating towards as far as the whole entire Wrekkin line. I think this is the best Wrekkin offering that we've had since the Ambulance. To me, this one and the Ambulance are the only two must grabs of the Wrekkin series. So if I'm gonna give this guy a number grade, I'm gonna go ahead and give it a 9 out of 10. I don't give 9s too often, but I'm just having so much fun with this piece. And that's my objective personal grade. I never thought I would give a Mattel WWE product a 9. I'm gonna just be honest with you right now. Even though I do love collecting their stuff, but I gotta give this one a 9. I'm blown away by it. If you guys have this one in your collection, what do you think? If you're planning on picking it up, drop a comment below and let me know why. If I missed anything, let me know below as well. I really appreciate everybody that watches the videos till the end because that's the best way to help the channel grow. I've been kind of on a little short hiatus lately because I am in the process of moving. The Permanent Marks podcast has not gone anywhere. It's coming back. We're going to be talking all things professional wrestling as we usually do. And the next episode is going to be covering AEW Fight Forever, MJF and Adam Cole, the Golden Lovers back, all that good stuff. But if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, like the video, comment on the video, put that notification bell on so you never miss one. And until next time, peace.